Oliver Joseph Lacy was born on June 23, 1968 in Oak Park, Chicago, Illinois. He was the son of Catherine Lacy and had a brother and sister. Oliver's mother, Catherine Lacy, described her son as very outspoken person, who always told people what's on his mind. He was a family man who loved sport very much. He was described as a lively and down-to-earth individual who loved helping others and always welcomed everyone with a smile. Moreover, Oliver was amicable and made friends quickly, and people close to him mentioned that he hated violence in every form. He also wore a cross around his neck that belonged to his father, who passed away few months before Oliver's disappearance. While his teenage years he attended to River Forest High School. He had his ups and downs there, but according to his track coach and his mother, afterwards he seemed to getting his life in order. He also had many girlfriends, according to Oliver's high school friend, Iran Harris. The Chicago Tribune says, at high school Oliver was a standout track racer. His coach Glenn Cawthorn said that as a runner he had a genuine talent. Several times in his senior year Oliver ran 100-meter dash in 10.5 seconds, exceptional time for high school. Equivalent to a 9.4 or 9.5 100-yard dash. There were no flukes about it, said Cawthorn. Oliver was also offered a track scholarship to Texas A&M University, but his grades wasn't high enough to gain him admission, so he attended a junior college to improve his grades. Oliver had demonstrated an ability to overcome academic difficulties in high school. His coach said, as a high school freshman, he was kind of a renegade to a degree, a kind of free spirit in a way. He felt his athletic ability he could get by with some things, but he couldn't. Like a lot of freshmen, he didn't think he had to get the grades. He didn't believe the eligibility rule would apply to him. But his grades were poor and he was ineligible for sports in his sophomore and junior years. He was placed in the school's behavior disorder program for students with discipline problems or who lacked effort. In his senior year Oliver approached his coach Glenn Cawthorn and said he wanted to rejoin the track team. Coach asked him were his grades going to allow him to do this, and Oliver said, "Coach, the grades are fine. I want to run." Oliver wanted to be one of the top 5 fastest runners in Illinois. He wanted to win the 100-meter dash if he could. The truth is that he reached his goal. He became one of the state's 5 fastest, and in one indoor 55-meter meet, he beat the youth who eventually became the state 100-meter champion. After graduation Oliver occasionally stopped by his old high school to visit with Glenn Cawthorn. The last time when Coach saw Oliver was May 1991. Coach asked Oliver to talk to some of the boys on the track team, boys who had the renegade attitude Oliver had shown in his freshman year. Oliver talked to those boys to encourage them not to do some of the things he had done. He tried to give them some advice on how to carry on with their lives. In a way, it kind of felt like to me maybe he had gotten back in the church. He really was trying to make something of himself, said Cawthorn. In 1991 Oliver was a 23-year-old father to 2-year-old Emmanuel and was engaged to his son's mother Rose Colon. 4 months before his disappearance Oliver moved to Milwaukee from Oak Park to be with his fiancée and their son. Rose and Emmanuel were living with Oliver's mother Catherine in her duplex on Milwaukee's west side when Oliver moved in. At the time he was working in downtown Milwaukee for Pioneer Commercial Cleaning Incorporated. On July 15, 1991, Oliver was observing the intersection of 27th and Kilbourne when he saw Jeffrey Dahmer. Dahmer introduced himself as a professional photographer and seduced Oliver with his words. He invited Oliver to his place under the pretext of posing for photos for money. In the apartment, Dahmer drugged Oliver. However, this time, instead of immediately killing his victim, he preferred to stay with Oliver while he was asleep and under the influence of drugs. However, Dahmer had to go to work at the Milwaukee Ambrosia Chocolate Factory. He didn't want to kill Oliver outright, but he also couldn't keep him under his influence for long. When a rag soaked in chloroform proved ineffective, he strangled Oliver to death. However, I found some inconsistency regarding the day Oliver disappeared. All sources I found say that Oliver met Dahmer on July 15. This date is also considered to be the date of his death. In a Chicago Tribune article, his mother Catherine claims that she last saw her son on July 12 and reported him missing on Saturday, July 13. According to this version, he was last seen by his family on July 12 at the Grand Avenue Mall in downtown Milwaukee, where he had gone with a friend at about 6 p.m. His mom reported his disappearance on the next morning when he didn't return home. When he wasn't home Saturday, I felt something was wrong because my son would call me. My children always call me, said Catherine. When Jeffrey Dahmer got caught on July 22, 1991, Oliver's mom feared her son might be among the victims. Unfortunately, her concerns were confirmed. Police warned Oliver's mom that her son was dismembered, but Catherine still wanted to see a photograph of his head. She said, "I need to find out. I wanted to see for myself. The only thing that's going through my mind right now is my son." She said she has no idea how her son may have come into contact with Dahmer. She said Oliver wasn't the type of person who would let someone come up to him like that. According to her, Oliver didn't use drugs and was never engaged in homosexual activity. Oliver was the first identified victim of Jeffrey Dahmer. Oliver was 23 years old when he died. If he was alive, he would be 55 today.